Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I am going to read S4 for 4093. Great Migration. Chapter 1, On the Move. Migration is when animals move from one place to another. Sometimes huge numbers of animals migrate together, but some animals migrate thousands of kilometers all alone. Why do animals migrate? Many places are not good for animals to live in all year long. The places are sometimes too cold or hot or not good for baby animals. Sometimes there is not enough food. Animals have to move away for part of the year or for part of their lives. They migrate to find food, water, and a safe place to live or breed. Sometimes all the animals in a species migrate. This is called complete migration. If only some animals in a species migrate, it's called partial migration. Arctic terns migrate from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back every year. That's almost 50,000 kilometers. When to go. Animals that migrate are called migrants. Many migrants leave their home at the same time every year. They reach the end of the journey at about the same time too. So how do they know when it's time to leave? Animals see things in the world around them that tell them to leave. The days get longer or shorter. The weather gets hotter or colder, or there is less food to eat. Scientists think that when migrants see that these things are changing, their bodies make special chemicals called hormones. The hormones make an animal eat lots of food so that it has enough energy for its journey. Swallows ready to migrate. Finding their way. Animals are very good at finding their way. Some use landmarks, important places that they can see, for example, mountains and coast. Others use the sun during the day, or the moon and stars at night. Some animals use smells. To help them to find their way. Scientists think that some animals can even feel Earth's magnetic field and use it to tell them where they are. It's like the animals have a compass inside. Some animals, like bats and whales, make special sounds when they are moving. The echoes from these sounds help them to find their way. Dangers. Migrating is often dangerous. The journey is very tiring for animals, and they sometimes find it difficult to get food and water. They are in danger from bad weather and predators, other animals that want to kill and eat them. There are many dangers, but these do not stop migrants. They have to make long journeys to find safe places to breed and home with lots of food. A lion hunting a zebra. Chapter 2, Bird Migrations. There are many different species of bird, and about half of them migrate. Some birds only travel a few kilometers, but others go all the way around the world. Where do birds migrate? In the northern half of the world, days are long in summer, and birds can easily find food for their young. In winter, many of these birds fly south because it is too cold in the north and there is not enough food. Birds in the southern half of the world fly north for winter and back south for summer. Many birds also migrate between east and west, usually looking for warmer winter weather near the ocean. Most birds in the tropics do not migrate because it's always warm there. Bat-tailed godwit from New Zealand fly further without stopping than any other bird. They fly 15,500 kilometers to China. Then after feeding, they fly another 5,000 kilometers to Alaska to breed. Getting ready. Before birds migrate, they need to eat a lot of food so that they have enough energy for their journey. Some birds double their weight before migrating. Their muscles become stronger too. Before migrating, many birds also molt. They lose their old feathers and new ones grow. They wait for good weather and then they are ready to go. A sooty shearwater from New Zealand flew 64,000 kilometers in 2005. This was the longest animal migration ever recorded. Learning where to go. Many large water birds like geese and cranes learn where to go from their parents or the older birds. They also have to learn the best way to fly. Geese and cranes always fly in a V shape because the air from the wings of the bird at the front helps the other birds to fly. Whooping cranes in the USA almost became extinct. This means that there were very few birds of the species left. In 1999, scientists brought some young whooping cranes to Florida in the south of the USA. Whooping cranes lived here many years before and always migrate to Wisconsin in the north of the USA. The new young cranes could not learn this from their parents, so the scientists had to teach them. The scientists flew to Wisconsin in special plane. Because the scientists made the cranes listen to the sound of the planes, when they were in the air, the cranes followed them. Dangers. There are many dangers for migrating birds. Hunters often wait for them because they know where and when they will fly. Tall buildings like skyscrapers and wind turbines kill many migrating birds. Also, because of farming or building, many birds lose their habitat, the places where they stop or migrate to. Chapter 3: Insect and Bat Migration. Many species of insects, like dragonfly, butterflies, and locusts, make short or long migration by air. Many species of bat also migrate by flying. Dragonflies. Dragonflies live underwater for most of their lives as larvae. When they become adults, they climb out of the water, the old skin comes off, and their wings slowly open. Dragonflies only live for a few months as adults, but some species migrate. They use the wind to carry them to warmer habitats in the fall. The green donner dragonflies weigh less than 2 grams, but some migrate all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. Monarch butterflies. Every fall, millions of monarch butterflies from North America fly up to 3,000 kilometers south to Mexico. Here, they rest and sleep in trees for the winter months. Then when spring comes, they fly back to North America. They breed before they die. The migration of the monarch butterfly is beautiful. And it is also amazing because monarch butterflies live for less than a year. No butterfly ever makes the same journey again. The monarch butterflies that live North America have never flown south to Mexico before, but they know where to go every year. Millions of new butterflies move north and south, going the same way every time and resting in the same trees. Desert locust. Desert locusts migrate when there are too many locusts in one place. This is called eruptive migration. Desert locusts usually live alone. They only move around at night when there are too many locusts. The young locusts change color and they change how they live. During the day, they fly around in large groups called swarms. They travel up to 200 kilometers every day to find new places with food and fewer locusts. A locust swarm can have up to 1 billion locusts. A locust can eat its own weight in food every day. So thousands of people starve every year when locust swarms eat food crops. Bats in places that get cold in winter, there are fewer insects. So many species of insect-eating bat migrate. Some bats make only short journeys, but others migrate more than 1,000 kilometers. Every year, during the wet season, when there is a lot of rain, millions of fruit bats in Africa migrate to Kansanka National Park in Zambia. At this time, there is lots of fruit on the tree. At night, the bats feed on the fruit. And then at dawn, they fly into forests where they rest and sleep. They eat as much as 5,000 metric tons of fruit every night. Chapter 4 Migrations by Land. When animals migrate by land, they do not have help from the wind or ocean currents. The journey is often shorter than air or ocean migration, but the animals sometimes have to cross deserts, mountains, or ice. Reindeer. Reindeer are a species of deer that live in the Arctic. They are called the caribou in North America. They make longer migrations than any other land animal. Some reindeer walk more than 4,000 kilometers every year. Because they live in large groups or herds, they quickly eat up food and then they have to move to another place. In summer, the reindeer move north or into the mountains where they can find good grass to eat. They can feed the young here too. They are also safer because they can see predators like bears and wolves and they can escape from them more easily. In winter, when the snow is deep, reindeer move to places where there is less snow so they can find lichens to eat. Reindeer stop growing in winter, so they need up to 70% less food than in summer. Altitudinal migration. Camois, deer, wild sheep, and goats move up mountains in summer because there are fewer predators. In winter, there is too much snow and not enough food, so they move down the mountain. This is called altitudinal migration. Lemmings. When there is a lot of food, Norway lemmings breed very quickly. They can have up to 8 babies every month. Then there are too many lemmings and not enough for them to eat. So large numbers of young lemmings migrate a long way to find food. They even try to swim across rivers and lakes to find a new place to live with lots of food. Many die, but the lemmings keep having more new babies. Because our climate is changing, there are fewer big lemming migration now. Frogs and toads. Every year, frogs and toads migrate from their homes on the land to water where they can breed. They only move about 1 or 2 kilometers, but their journeys are very dangerous. They can die if they become too hot or dry, and it's easy for predators to find them when they are migrating. Many frogs and toads are also killed if they have to cross roads to get to the places where they breed. In some country, people build special tunnels or stop cars so that frogs and toads can cross roads safely. Toads crossing a road. Chapter 5, Migrations in Africa. Some of the most amazing animals in the world live in Africa. How many African animals can you think of? Do you know if they migrate? The wild beast migration. On the African plains, there is a wet season and a dry season every year, all year long. Herds of wild beasts move across the plains in Tanzania and Kenya looking for fresh grass. There are more than 1 million wild beasts. The animals follow the rain, so their movements are different every year. But the journey takes them in a big circle from the Masai Mara National Park in the north down to the Serengeti National Park in the south. Up to 3,000 kilometers. At the Serengeti, where the grass is very good in the wet season, the wild beasts have their young. Dangers. About 200,000 zebras and 500,000 gazelles also migrate with the herds of wild beasts. There are many dangers for the migrating wild beasts, zebras and gazelles. Predators like lions, leopards, and hyenas want to kill and eat the herds. The animals also have to cross big rivers. If the rains have been heavy, the rivers are sometimes very dangerous, and many animals die. Crocodiles attack the herds too. Also, people are using more and more land for growing food, so there is less land for the herds to move around on, and less grass for them to eat. Elephants. Elephants migrate to look for food and water. Male elephants also make long migrations to look for a mate, a female elephant to breed with. For most of the year, male elephants eat and make their bodies strong. And they have a special time of year called mush, when they migrate hundreds of kilometers to find the mate. They have to fight other male elephants too. So when they come back after mating, they are very thin and they have little energy. An adult elephant needs about 100 kilograms of food every day and up to 300 liters of water. So for about 80% of the day, elephants feed or look for food. Okavango Delta. The Okavango Delta is in the Kalahari Desert in Botswana in Africa. For 6 months, it is dry and sandy, and nothing grows here. Then every summer, it floods and grass covers the land. When the water comes, many birds and other animals migrate here. Dragonfly, cranes. Wait a minute. In the water comes, many birds and other animals migrate here. Deer, buffaloes, elephants, giraffes, and many other animals all migrate to the Okavango Delta to look for food and water. Activity Chapter 6 Ocean Migration. Many fish migrate around the ocean. Some ocean mammals migrate too. Some make very long journeys. A humpback whale. Whales, many whales like humpback whales and gray whales migrate to polar oceans in summer. Here they can find lots of their favorite food, krill. Young whales cannot keep warm enough in very cold oceans, so in winter the whales migrate back to warmer tropical oceans to breed. Humpback whales migrate farther than any other mammal, up to 17,000 kilometers every year. They migrate for the first time with their mothers, and then they usually make the same journey every year for the rest of their lives. During their journeys, humpback whales make special sounds like a song. All humpback whales in the same part of the world sing almost the same song, and it changes every year. Emperor penguins. In summer, in the Antarctic, emperor penguins hunt for krill, fish, and squid in the ocean. In March, when the ice gets thicker, adult penguins migrate up to 200 kilometers across the ice to their breeding places. After the females have laid their eggs, they go back to the ocean to feed. The males keep the eggs warm on their feet. They often have to wait for up to 16 weeks for the eggs to hatch.